You may have only thought the Green Party had a widespread anti-Semitism problem. But it seems the NDP is now picking up the slack as the Green Party has fallen into disrepair. The Centre for Israel and Jewish Affairs, CIJA, recently called out Jagmeet Singh and the federal NDP for anti-Semitic rhetoric against the nation of Israel. And how the NDP and their socialist media allies reacted pretty much proves CIJA's accusations. This all happened because of an email the NDP put out, explicitly, from Jagmeet Singh, which laid out 13 points they wanted the Liberals to address for Palestinian rights, which could be simply boiled down to undermine Israel based on lies and conspiracy theories. In a nutshell, in their September 2nd email, CIJA had called out Singh, and the NDP was making the accusation that Israel is an apartheid state, and that Israel is at fault for the lack of peace with Palestine/Gaza. The socialist/pro-Palestine publications predictably reacted by claiming that it is not anti-Semitic to oppose the pro-Israel lobby or to call out the State of Israel for perceived wrongs, which would be correct if the double standards and lies when it comes to Israel were not so obvious. Very obviously a lot of Singh and the NDP's points against Israel are either pure fabrications based on anti-Israel propaganda, or twisting something factual into an anti-Israel talking point. For instance, the NDP, in their 13 points for addressing Palestinian rights notes, demands the Liberals condemn the ongoing blockade of Gaza, and increase Canadian humanitarian assistance to the people of Gaza, which is insane when you realize Gaza is ruled by the terrorist organization Hamas, and has frequently fired tens of thousands of rockets into Israel. Israel is clearly not in the wrong for blockading its side of the border with Gaza due to the extreme amount of danger that it would put its own citizens at to open it back up. Hamas' own governing charter calls for the destruction of Israel and the removal of Jews, which apparently the NDP takes no issue with. Not all anti-Semitism is created the same. There are the loser skinheads who are aggressively and overtly anti-Semitic. But then there is a left-wing form of anti-Semitism that would have the West try and blame Israel for all the problems in the Middle East, and attempt to tie their hands in the face of terroristic threats and violence. What is insidious about left-wing anti-Semitism is that it justifies itself with the concept of social justice, and appears, on its face to people not paying much attention, to be a movement fighting for such things as Palestinian rights, which are always defined in such a way to force Israel to make itself less safe, while never holding Hamas or the Palestinian Authority for real human rights abuses. In a petition posted on the NDP's website, they even call for Canada to stop selling weapons to the State of Israel, which again is based on a lie that when Hamas or Hezbollah fire rockets on Israel, it's because Israel is somehow the aggressor who needs to be defanged. In reality, if Israel really wanted to wipe out the parts of the country they allow to be controlled by Palestinian elected governments, some of which like Hamas are really just terrorist groups, they could do it in an afternoon. Seeing as Israel beat several Arab nations' militaries during the Six-Day War back in 1967, they can probably waste some skinny jean terrorists armed with Scud missiles and RPGs. If they weren't concerned about the lives of the Palestinians who live around and are used as human shields by these enemy combatants. The NDP claims it supports a two-state solution, which CIJA and the vast majority of pro-Israel organizations also do. But how could a two-state solution ever work? While the NDP thinks Israel is acting in bad faith by simply protecting its territorial integrity and citizens, Jagmeet Singh and the majority of the NDP's caucus, and membership would probably never actually engage, in good faith, with an organization like SIJA or anyone who has a clue about Israel. Seeing as they just want to hate the only Jewish state in the world while pretending to be virtuous.